Hello and welcome to the combined Mega Wrap-Up, April-May 2025. I'm Peter Schneider. I'm here with Nick Huston in studio and TK Edmondson in the Atlanta studio.
Mega! Greetings from Atlanta.
He's repping on the hat. You can tell where he is. You've got the Atlanta hat. I've got a mug that says Kisses from New York. It's just a mug. There's no kisses going on.
Yet.
Yes.
That you know of. Anyway.
Wait till the end.
If you're watching this, it's probably June, so happy Pride Month. Gotham has some great stickers that are on sale for $2. All proceeds will be benefiting the Trevor Project to support their LGBTQ plus crisis services, peer support, and advocacy. Go to gothamsound.com. Today, there will be stickers available in New York and Atlanta. Oh, and important thing, not to be forgotten, we're pleased to be an official sponsor of the 2025 NYC Pride Parade, providing them with walkies and other communication support. So that'll be exciting. If you're in New York City and you have not been to the Pride Parade, it is awesome and cool, and we're happy to be involved.
Indeed. Yes. Yes.
All right, we have lots of news from the last 2 months. This is going to be covering our coverage from NAB in Vegas and the Gotham Sound Expo in New York. So some of the highlights coming up. Be sure to check out also the video coverage on gothamsound.tv for more.
We'll get right into it with Zaxcom. Zaxcom showed off their VTX VHF IFB transmitter with a factory upgrade required for Nova 1 and the older 2s.
Yep, so you can order the VTX option with a new Nova 2, or if you have a Nova 2 or a Nova 1, you can send it in for an upgrade. You can either do that through us or directly through Zaxcom, and this gives you the ability to transmit to the VRX one or the Comtech PR216 in VHF.
And they showed off digital modulation at NAB.
That's right. They have digital modulation, so that's for the VRX one only. Mm-hmm. And that, is going to be a cleaner, more digitally signal than the FM analog.
More robust to interference and all the rest of it.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yep. Exactly.
It's cool. They also showed off a refreshed handheld transmitter with a built-in XLR. So you have the option to go hardwired or wireless. 10-hour battery life using, I believe, a vape battery.
Yes. Yep. And that's coming soon. A lot of these things are coming soon, but I talked to Glenn yesterday, and I'm not going to give you the ETA he gave me because it ain't here till it's here. But he is bullish on when it will be available.
But check back often.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
They also debuted their DCI-RX compact UHF IRX mobile broadcast receiver. It's got stereo output, timecode, headphones, mic with 48-volt phantom power. Interestingly, you can power or send audio out of the USB or send audio out of the USB-C or 3 AAA batteries. Very, very cool. I like seeing manufacturers, first of all, it does a lot.
Yep.
Second of all, I like manufacturers taking advantage of the USB-C audio class compliance.
And honestly, it's nice and small, and having a small 48-volt phantom preamp in general is a missing in our industry. It has been since Mo's gear went away. So having that and the ability to receive a channel and output directly into a camera, it's pretty sweet. And for people that are shooting on their iPhones, those like shooter producer type people, ENG. This is a neato thingamajig.
Yeah, this has got a very unique place in how you can use it for sure.
Mm-hmm. There's a number of mobile apps for professional reporters reporting from iDevices. And having two-way communication could be very interesting.
Oh.
Yep.
Breaking news! Zaxcom has announced a summer sales event starting now and ending on July 7th, 2025. Zaxcom is offering multiple deals on the Nova 2 and the new VTX and VRX. Visit gothamsound.com for more details. Back to you in the studio. Speaking of reporting, we also have some new products from Wisycom. The MTH610 wireless handheld transmitter body is now available, now shipping. We've gotten our first ones in stock, and we actually used them with that motocross thing that we were doing.
Oh, yeah.
And they were very happy.
Yeah,
so that's great. They've also announced the MTP61 XL Extended Battery Autonomy Kit. So if you want your MTP61 to be able to walk around
In space.
for over 16 hours. No, it will not walk around, but it is a kit that basically changes the battery door, allows you to use a different battery that will give the MTP61 up to 16 hours of battery life, which is pretty epic. And then also an option with the MTP61, DPA has announced the micro lock connector, and given the the partnership between Wisycom and DPA, you can now order MTP61s with the micro lock connector. It's a special order, so expect that to take 8 to 10 weeks. But if you are, listen, if you want something really low profile, the micro lock is really small, and the locking part, I finally got a chance to mess around with it. It's cool.
And you're still able to use your micro dot lavs.
That's right. They are cross compatible.
Nice.
And last but not least, and this was a cool big piece of machined aluminum, the BFL2 optical link units are shipping. Check with us for lead times, but basically it's a diversity RF over fiber transmit receive that can also do Ethernet for Control or Dante or however. So basically over 2 strands of fiber, 2 or 3 strands of fiber, depending if you get the MUX option. You can have 2 antennas and an Ethernet control, which is pretty darn cool. Nice to have it all in one box. Check out the video that we did about that at NAB.
I think, this could be the end of coax, or we're quickly approaching that, where, first of all, fiber, even the TAC fiber is starting to get cheaper than low-loss coax, just because of the materials cost. And these devices are getting more and more reliable and smarter, and have more features.
I had a customer contact me yesterday. They were looking. Sometimes the TAC fiber can be hard to come by, like especially with APC, right? Which is why you use what is it?
UPC. Yeah. So I think that's an important thing to note. Is I think, especially if you want to take advantage of like the video department running fiber, standardize on UPC TAC fiber,
and then adapt
patch. Yeah, with patch.
So this particular person was using APC optical con. So that was what they needed, and then one of the things just to have in your kit is you can get these very cheap, very thin fiber runs just to basically have as a disposable backup.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. You have the TAC fiber, and if goodness gracious, something happens, you've got this very cheap break in case emergency that you can use, and that's what he wound up going with.
Good.
Yeah, because he had an emergency.
Yeah, and you can get that stuff off Amazon, and people, I think, as fiber becomes more commonplace, you'll start to have adapter kits, just like we have with copper audio.
Yep.
You'll have UPC to APC and SC to ST adapters and yeah.
When will we start seeing antennas with fiber built in?
I think that'll be the pivot point. It's kind of similar to the electrical car petrol conversation with gas station.
There you go.
Convenience of that.
If anybody has questions about UPC, APC, they should watch that video that you hosted with TechNet and with Wisycom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a great video. Explained all the different connectors and got into like what the differences are. And, basically it's just like, even though it may look the same and fit, it is not necessarily the same. So make sure you're matching, the connector type. The color is important in terms of what's on your connectors. Green goes in green, blue goes in blue. Period. Full stop.
One interesting thing about the Neutrik optical con is that it is like you can use LC connectors in it. Like you don't need the Neutrik, which I was thinking about for your customer. And
that's what he wound up doing was getting those LC APC.
Yeah, and you just jam them in there and off you go. Yeah, it's a brave new world.
So rolling on right along with the coverage from NAB Deity, they dropped their new Theos D IFB. This is going to be a true diversity IFB receiver. It's compatible with their current Theos transmitters. It's going to have about 17 hours of battery life, and this wirelessly can be set up via the Citus app. So if you've already got that, just add a page for this, and you can save about 20 frequencies. So you'll be able to choose them right from within the app. What they're calling the SF1, which is going to be their active shark fin antenna. This is going to work from 470 megs all the way up to 1 gig. And I don't know the spec for the RF gain on this, but this is designed for RF use. You can throw this up real high. It's got the slits in there, so no worries about this blowing away in the wind. And it's got the really cool ARRI mount on there for your accessories with the anti-rotation thing on there. This is going to be a 3/8/16 slot in there, so you could just hook anything else up.
Stay tuned for actual release date. You know, they showed it off at NAB, but they're not shipping as of the recording of this video.
Right. Yeah. Air quotes, coming soon. In the summer.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
I do think it's interesting. Well, Deity is interesting for lots of reasons, but the whole, sort of being aware of what's out there in the camera world and adopting some of those mounting accessories natively and mounting standards is kind of interesting.
I would love to see this mounted on top of a camera. It would bring me great joy.
I mean, it's possible now right out the box, though. And it's cool because you can always borrow from, there's tons of times where you can just borrow from camera and you don't have to bring anything on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you need like a magic arm or something, it's already got that. Yeah. Yeah.
It's magic.
Anyways, Point Source announced their new ear mic, EO7. We've seen variations of this from them before. This is specifically designed for video productions, and it's got multiple colors and multiple connectors. If you haven't seen it, check out our video that we did with them at NAB. But basically, it's a very kind of discreet microphone. Doesn't go all the way in front of your face. Just kind of hides out in your hairline, somewhere between your ear and your jaw.
Yeah.
Very discreet and very easy to put on and off. No fuss, no muss.
No fuss, no muss.
Yeah, it would be great for just personal speaking or public speaking, not personal. I guess you could do this
talking to yourself.
Yeah.
If anyone will listen to me. So we got a chance to sit down with Nancy from Q5X, which is always a pleasure. She showed off the new Incognito mic, which has Q5X's first removable battery, which was neat. But my favorite thing and my pick of the show for Q5X was the Player Mic X. And this is a non-functional mock-up of it, but they do have functional ones that are being used right now in the NBA playoffs. Go Knicks, who lost last night. I know. So it's a micro-sized transmitter, 10-hour internal battery. It's got a water-resistant case, and it is a digital transmitter. So it requires a proprietary receiver, which is not available yet. They've basically hacked something to use right now. But stand by as they release their codecs to other manufacturers. We'll keep you posted.
Will we see an Axient module in there, do you think? Or
I don't think so. You know, Axient is, they made their, this is what Nancy said, you know, they made their own digital codec and basically just to figure out how to make it the most power efficient possible. And so since this is their own design, their own chip, Axient would be a completely separate thing. So my guess would be no. The question would be, will Shure Axient receivers or any receivers carry the codec that you would need to run this?
Oh, I like that question.
Yeah. Will it be Shure? Will it be Electrosonics? Will it be Sound Devices? Will it be Wisycom? Will it be Sennheiser? Will it be someone else? I don't know, but we'll keep you posted.
Your guesses in the comments.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great idea. We could open Vegas odds, and they had other transmitters, switch mics that had toggle, push, and switch, all sorts of different, the ability to switch in different ways, and basically to help talent do whatever they needed to do. So, a lot of flexibility there, and always a pleasure to talk with Nancy.
No pun intended. A lot of flexibility.
Oh yeah, look at that wiggly antenna.
All right, also some very cool things from Saramonic. They've entered the wireless game. They call this the K9. It's going to be a dual-channel UHF digital wireless system. And right now, we need you guys to know this is not FCC approved at the moment. This is their global version, but it's everything pretty straightforward you'd expect. 3.5 millimeter lav input. This transmits or will do 30-bit recording, and it does receive time code. You can control all of this via their Saramonic Recordist app. So yeah, just kind of a very easy workflow, and you should be familiar with this. They have also time code boxes. They have like a bunch of different colors for these, so pick your favorite color, and they're calling these the Neo. So also enter your favorite matrix reference here. These are compact little time code generators, and they're rechargeable via USB-C, and they have 24 hours of battery life, so you can use these 2-3 days on. And yeah, this is all coming soon from Saramonic. Check out our website for more news.
Can we go back to the matrix references for a second? Whoa. That's it. That's the whole thing. Keanu's the king of whoa.
Halter-Technical announced their Pico IFB ear set, which is available now. It's a tiny 5mm earbud designed for on-camera, to be hidden on camera in, like a reporter or discrete queuing situation for reporter on-air talent. Tiny speaker section, transparent cable. It's actually pretty cool.
It is, and it's a good deal too. I think it's around $100.
And there's a lot of applications where you might replace a Phonak or Roger system with this. Especially if there's any hair.
Yeah. I mean, the idea that you can have the additional range of, say, an IFB or whatever it is you're going to plug into. And I will say that this has been, in terms of stuff that debuted at NAB, this has been the most popular.
I can see why.
It's a way to go, Doc.
Yep. And then, huge Wildtracks multi-track recording software for Mac. You should check out a video that Doc and I did here about it, which was, it's good software. And definitely picks up where I think some of the other software is, we're seeing less and less updates. This is a current modern software. Multi-track software, and check out our Instagram post of modding the new M4 Mac Mini for 12-volt DC.
Yeah, so this would be it could be a primary recorder, or it could be a perfect backup recorder if you're already in Dante or something like that. Reminds me of the Metacorder days.
Yes, those early scary days.
So from Sound Devices, CL16 waveform display for easy playback navigation and adding cue markers in combination with the 8 series firmware coming very soon. Also cool part about this firmware was that they included daylight mode. Lauren Banjo did a very funny Instagram post.
I wish she overexposed that video.
It was very bright.
That would have been so hilarious.
It was very, very bright. Also new, Nexus and Super Nexus have additional audio output routing for push-to-talk flexibility. So they've essentially doubled the number of outputs available. So rather with the Nexus, just having one-to-one output for, 16 channels, now they have 32 channels. Super Nexus has gone from 32 outputs to 64. So it just gives you a lot of different routing flexibility.
And that's just routing. That's not like doubling the wireless receiver.
No, it's not the number of receivers. It's specifically the outputs. There is also some functionality with the push-to-talks where, what do they call that? Not matrixing. It's like it can talk with with a mixing board.
Right.
And trigger a mixing board to do functions.
Like a private comms.
Yeah, private comm.
And I see why the doubling of outputs is related to the push button, because you have to route that to a separate output.
Right. And last but not least, there is now compatibility with the Icon P1-M DAW controller. And that's officially compatible. So that goes in as a low-cost option for people looking for a control surface. So that would be probably the most inexpensive approved control surface for the 8 series to go along with the next step up of the VDB, FCS, and then the Sonosax control surfaces, and then the CL16.
Yes.
What you said for motorized faders, certainly the most cost-effective option.
We were a little bit behind the scenes between Icon and Sound Devices in facilitating that firmware update. And, for anybody that thinks, they just need to update the firmware, it's so simple. There's a lot. There's a lot that goes on. There's many hours, not just of coding, but also of QC and making sure it's proper. There was a lot of back and forth to make that happen.
Yeah, and specifically TK was doing a lot of that testing and feedback. So shout out to Atlanta.
It's still in a Pelican right here, but yeah, it's it's definitely been a process. I'm happy to see kind of the end of this, but yeah, and big shout out to Alberto here in Atlanta for doing a lot of the beta demoing on this thing. So yeah, check it out if you're interested. We will have one here demo, so if you want that, you can also reach out to the New York store as well. All right, we have an update from Tascam on their DR10L Pro. This is a firmware update that allows you to now jam sync your linear timecode. So LTC, boom, right in the 3.5 jack is now available. So if you already have this and you want to jam sync,
Nice.
you like what I'm putting down?
Presumably, so you would, because this is a small little body worn
pack,
recorder. So you jam sync it with the 3.5 millimeter, unplug the timecode, and then plug the lav back in, and off you go.
Right. Yeah. So similar to a lot of the way a lot of the other stuff works.
Cool.
Or that it has the option. I mean, even the Zaxcom stuff, even though there is Zaxnet and you can jam it wirelessly, you can also hard plug and just take it in from the input.
Nice.
This is true.
Sennheiser has a bunch of announcements. Number one, Spectera is officially shipping, which is really ahead of schedule, kind of amazing. The other thing that's shipping is the MKH8018 stereo shotgun mic. It's got nifty little settings that let you switch between MS, or XY narrow, XY wide, which I think is very helpful. And then they came out with a 2.4 gig wireless system. It's got an interesting kind of twist in that the charging bar doubles as a handheld interview mic. I love design. I love design ideas. So there you go. And then TK, you specifically are excited about the Rhyme.
Yeah, if you're into their DAWs and you're doing any of the immersive mixing and you want to do that with headphones, Neumann has their own complements of their headphone systems as well as their loudspeakers. So this is another thing that they've kind of added into this software, and they've allowed you the ability to take a 7.1 mix, put it in headphones, and still have what they're calling the reference immersive monitoring environment. And yeah, so this works as a DAW plugin. You basically load this into your tracks on your master track, and then you can use that output to have the feedback from your immersive environment on your mixing and see what that sounds like in headphones and stereo. So very cool. Shout out to Neumann for keeping it innovative with the ways to do this new technology and kind of like get yourself into it without having a 7.1 system actually. So very cool.
New stuff from Shure. So they have the IntelliMix room kits with software-based audio processing for AV conferencing, which those are pretty neat. There's no DSP hardware required. It installs simply and neatly and is available now. And by now, anything special order for anything from Shure has taken a couple of weeks to sort out while they've got their new shipping software that they're working through and ironing out the bugs. So leave a little extra lead time for Shure if you need Shure products.
Right. I mean, the good news is if you just want the IntelliMix room, that's a download away and runs on off-the-shelf hardware, computer hardware. So it's a Windows program, which is very cool.
Yeah, that's true. I downloaded Wireless Workbench 7 to another computer today, and that was an instant download. I did not have to wait 4 to 6 weeks.
No, you did not.
No, amazing the internet. This thing's the future.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's going to go places.
Radius has announced the mini alto windshield kits. They are available right now for the short shotguns. The longer shotguns, those will be coming soon. They also have the Radius mic bands, which are available. These are stoppers for slip-ons on the windshield, and you can kind of just adapt them as you need. And they also have a transmitter holder for the RAD mounts, and these will be specific to the transmitter, but they fit onto the XLR holder. So there's a RAD 2 Field Edition for small stereo pair mics that you can add onto your mount if you want to do some stereo recording. So check out all these items from Radius if you're interested.
One thing I thought was cool about the stereo mic clip thingamajig is that they developed that But before they had it released and before they had it in production, they published instructions for how to have it 3D printed.
So you can try it yourself. Yeah.
So you can try it yourself, or if you need it now, because there's a huge demand for people who are doing, stereo field recordings, especially in MS, to like get out there as small as possible. And the Alto provides that, and kudos to them for making it available quick.
It's a great point. I really do love this new era of kind of open source collaborative manufacturing.
Yeah, for sure.
Ursa announced their popper cases. These are cases for small transmitters, lav mics, etc. They're clear. They've got places to write on. You can kind of line a bunch up in a Pelican case or soft case. It's a clever idea.
Yeah. At NAB, Orca announced their new OR117 boom pole mount. It's a redesign of the very popular OR17 magnetic boom pole mount. It has a little pull tab to allow a quick release. It is shipping now. We haven't gotten our first batch yet, but it is generally available. Definitely recommend trying that out. There's not really a lot of great options to like connect a boom pole to your harness for the run and gun. So this is an exciting thing that they have, this is now available again.
Yes.
And next we have an update from Ambient and NanoLocket. This is an app basically allowing you to try out their Frame.io update. And basically Frame.io, this will allow you to create a marker. So when you're doing your take, you can make a note of what was a good take, what was a bad take, anything like that. So just an easier way to incorporate your workflow if you want to hand that off to your producer or whomever is above the line and in charge. But yeah, now you can try this out on an app, download it free on your iPhone, and just check this out if there's something you're interested in doing.
Yeah, I think the Frame.io is a really cool thing for people that are decentralized, where you're sharing notes among people, maybe in multiple places all around the world, and having this NanoLocket to mark good takes, bad takes, whatever, and integrate that immediately into your workflow that uploads everywhere, at point of capture, rather than needing to add that, laboriously in, as an assistant editor or something like that.
Right, with the second set of eyes to do it. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a time saver.
For sure. Yeah, I could see a lot of uses on set. Like traditional sort of episodic and feature films, but also for a lot of YouTube content creators where they're, outsourcing the editing using Frame.io as the medium to get the material to the editor, leaving notes for the editor. So yeah, it's clever.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think actually, honestly, this is a good conversation point to have where you incorporate prepping enough on the front end to make sure that you have this for the back end so that things can be run, like a more smoother operation in terms of your production.
Totally. Magewell has their Director 1. Look, speaking of new eras, this is a monitor that can also switch and stream, can do live score updates. We did a whole video with it.
Graphics.
Yep.
Crazy.
And they also have their Pro Convert audio, which if you haven't seen, little devices that take audio in via Dante or USB and stream it via SRT across the internet, and then does the reverse. We've used that successfully to sort of combine comms systems between, let's say, Times Square and the Upper East Side, where it's two different crews working together. Really interesting stuff. And then this isn't a Magewell product, but the same company that distributes Magewell here in the States has the Miri X150. It's a bonded router with built-in Speedify, which is interesting.
And we use the Director Mini,
yes,
right, for our NAB coverage.
Yes. There were some bugs that we discovered, which was really interesting to be at NAB at the Magewell booth and pull over the actual kind of like people responsible for the software and have them confirm it, which was, nice for me to know I'm not going insane.
Not crazy, yeah.
Yeah, but also, it's interesting, and kudos to them. They have a new firmware out that I have yet to try, but yeah.
That's very cool. And Peter, just so you know, You are going crazy.
Oh, right. I mean, that wasn't the reason.
Okay, great.
The specific reason.
Yeah.
Just making
it's just
sure.
not a contributing factor.
Yes.
Audio Workbench has some new smart battery cups. So first and foremost, it's a refresh of the Swift Cup, which has 2 Hiroshi outputs, 2 amp-hour resettable fuses per output with voltage spike protection and telemetry. Then there's the Super Swift Cup, which adds reverse voltage protection, TA4 smart power management, no dummy battery needed with priority path and seamless switching regardless of battery voltage, and an ultra-low RF spray USB output charger at 2.5 amps. That's a big one because the original Swift Cups, that was one of the complaints, was the RF spray from the USB. So they've listened and they've updated that.
Good.
And then they have the Switch Cup, which has 4 Hiroshi outputs and supports 2 batteries with automatic switching. So cool stuff from our friends at Audio Workbench.
Nice.
Yeah.
And some more cool stuff from Cable Techniques. They've got the Durham Mark II. This is the mic booster preamp. It's going to give you about 25 dB of gain. You can use this with any active microphone or like a ribbon microphone dynamic situation. And yeah, this is also made by Cathedral Pipes, and they're new to Connecticut, or excuse me, to Cable Techniques. But this is an existing product that they've kind of branded with. So yeah, check this out if you need a use for a active preamp in your line.
Turtle AV is a company that we have just taken on their new products. They have their Miniola Dante Bridge mic preamps, line preamps in and line out. And what I really like about them, they are powered by PoE and 12 volts and web page controlled.
And the color. I mean,
And the color.
Look at that mint.
Yeah, the color.
Yes.
That reminds me of mint ice cream.
They are very proud of that color.
It's a nice color.
Yeah.
It looks like a real pro device too. I just love a good combo jack, like a good
Solid. Yeah, solid.
IO like offering.
Cool stuff from Glensound at NAB. There's the Beatrice MK2 R12 intercom, which adds screens for Dante comms, which was very cool. This was impressive. So this was something they did custom for Parliament. I won't say which Parliament, but it's the Parliament broadcast system, which integrates audio feeds with control and voting software. So if you are somebody that has the special card that identifies yourself, you slide it into the slot and you can vote. I don't know how to get one of those cards, but I want to vote.
Did they give you the code to get in and hack it?
They gave me nothing.
Oh.
Yeah, sadly, I'm not going to be controlling the flow of any particular
Government,
country.
yes.
Yeah. And keep trying. Other cool thing, the Greater Divine Speaker. It is a bigger than original Divine Speaker.
Cool thing I thought about this Greater Divine.
It's big.
It's big. It was designed for sound quality, I believe.
Yeah.
And power.
All right, coming up from Clearcom is the Helix Net 4-channel party line belt packs. These work with the Helix X comms. Also coming from Clearcom is a firmware update for the Arcadia that will allow use of the Matrix panels. And these have the rotary panels on them for the Eclipse. And this is a nice update from Clearcom, certainly.
Digital Audio Labs announced their Live Mix Pro, which allows for 64 channels of monitoring, which is great for people backstage. As an A2 or for story producers on a reality show. Multiple people monitoring up to 64 channels of Dante audio is a really cool device. The form factor looks great. The UI looks great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to deploying these.
Yeah, and PoE, so it's just one cable.
One cable.
Neaterino. DPA is going to be in New York City for some N-Series wireless training. So coming Friday, June 20th at 10:30 a.m. in our New York City office. You can plan to show up. You can let us know you're going to be there. But DPA will be here showing off their new digital wireless.
Well, this was quite the mega wrap-up, right, fellas?
Well. Yes.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, TK. See more videos at gothamsound.tv. Subscribe, hit the like button, follow us on social media. Please send ideas, comments, suggestions, criticisms to info@gothamsound.com or just leave it in the comments below.
Oh, yeah. What color should I change my hair to? I don't know. Nobody knows.
Let us know.
Let us know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching, everybody.